Good morning and welcome to this morning's episode of the Amateur in the Morning. I am your host, the Forex Amateur. Today is the 27th of November. Wow, the year is coming to an end. Friday morning, and as you know, on a Friday morning, I like to speak about one quick topic, which is managing your risk. So if you've been trading the entire week and you're pretty comfortable with the amount of profits that you've made this week, I would suggest that you reduce your risk this Friday morning or going into the weekend. The last thing you want to do is give away the profits that you have built up over the past week. So take it easy. Remember, you don't have to trade every single day. But if you're looking to trade this weekend, just reduce your risk and focus on increasing your profits. Now, let's just talk about our synthetic indices this morning, and we'll also get into the dollar index futures as well as the NASDAQ equities. But obviously, we'll start with synthetic indices as usual. Let's talk about volatility 75. Now, volatility 75, before I forget, just to get address the elephant in the room. Unfortunately, I've been unable to record the morning sessions for the past 2 days due to internet issues, but I seem to have good internet this morning. So I said, let me just do it very quickly. Let's talk about volatility 75, looking at the daily chart. This is a level that I've been speaking about in terms of a possible TP for any buys taken on the way up, as well as a possible selling opportunity coming in from up here. So as you can see, that is currently playing out really well. So my thought process here on volatility 75 is that we're going to see it revisit this area here before it continues back to the upside. But let's focus in on what's happening in today. So this level that I've marked in here is also something that I've spoken about as well, where I've said that that's a possible buying area, right? So looking at here on my H4 chart, I'm currently looking to see for buying opportunities off of this level in here, taking this market back into this pink zone that I've got highlighted in here, where I'll be looking for more selling opportunities, obviously, targeting this lower pink zone that I've got on the daily chart. Looking at the H1 chart, I actually haven't looked at it. Let's just have a quick look at the H1 chart, if it can just get to where I need it. Okay, so looking at the H1 chart, it's also looking very good at the moment. We've got the structure in here that's been broken to the upside. We've got the market retesting this level in here, which is something I was looking at yesterday as a possible selling opportunity. But because I'm buy bias on this market, I'm just holding on for the buys. So right now, I would be looking to see the market come back to around this area in here, right? Because we've got this level of demand in here that pushed this market up, that broke all of this market structure. So I'll be looking to see the market come back into around this area, or price, sorry. We're looking for price to come back into around this area, and I'm looking to take buying opportunities back to the upside. We've also got this bit of a channel in here that you can also focus on if you do trade channels, right? We've got this bit of a channel in here, something like that, not really sure, because I don't really focus on it, right? Something like that. We can see a false breakout of there showing a willingness to go higher. So we'll see it for a retest perhaps on this bottom trend line for 1, 2, 3 touches at the bottom. And then we look to see it going higher from there. Looking at volatility 50 on the daily chart, I actually caught a really nice buy on volatility 50 off the bottom in here. Not yesterday, the day before. And I did take profits when it hit. I had actually had a level that I marked up in here, which I've removed because it's obviously been tested. But as it hit this top right here with this H4 candle here, I took profits at that point. And then I anticipated it going lower from here, which I've obviously highlighted to the paid members. So looking at this right now, this is playing out very beautifully. I'll be expecting it to come back down into this gray zone at minimum, right, before it does continue back to the upside. So looking at this for now, I would say the best thing to do is to be looking for selling opportunities. If I drop down to the H1 chart, I would assume that the market will come back to around these areas in here. Is the level of supply, right? Just change the color of this so I remember what it is. Coming back into this area here for a possible selling opportunity back to the downside. As we can see, this market is showing a willingness to go lower, right? We've also got these levels in here that are untested as well, that the market will most likely react to. So first entries we'll be looking for is perhaps from around this level here. Second entry we'll be looking for is around this level here. In both situations, we'll be looking for a stop loss at around that area, targeting below here. Obviously, I would like to get the secondary entry because then the stop loss becomes smaller, right? So that's what I'm looking at on volatility 50. It is overall, we're looking for sells back to the downside because remember, the overall higher time frame is still bearish, right? Even though we've hit the level that I've been looking to buy from, we still have to look for structure to complete on the higher time frame. So that's what I'm looking at in here. And once that does happen, then we'll be looking to take this market much higher. There's also a probability that we're actually going to see this market come back all the way here. So any sells that we take in here, perhaps we can look at a trailing stop loss sort of model so that we can just catch as much as the market wants to give us, because this is a beautiful structure for sells right now. Looking at volatility 10, let's look at the daily chart. Volatility 10, I have been expecting it to reject from this level in here. Right now, I'm off the thinking that we'll most likely see it pop above this area, perhaps even retest this blue zone before it does come back down into around this area. So I'm currently keen on looking at continuation buys on volatility 10. Obviously, it doesn't mean that I'm just going to buy right now. I'll be looking at significant structure inside of here. Perhaps price will, from around this area, push up into around there and then give us a bit of a pullback from there. And then from here, I'll be looking to perhaps keep going higher from that point. Let's move on to volatility 25-1S, which I've been speaking about. This specific area in here, where I did say if market comes back to this area, we'll be looking for buying opportunities off of that area. And that is currently playing out really well as well. So let's just have a look at this. I'll be expecting this market to sort of give us a bit of a pop above this area, right? So for today, it would be wise to look for buys on here. And once it hits this level, then I am looking to actually sell this market all the way back down to these lows right here, right? So that is my thought process on here. Let's just have a look at the intraday chart as well to see if I can pick up anything on here. But I always prefer to look at the intraday chart once it's hit my significant level on the daily chart. Then I have something to work with from that point. Yeah, but for now, it looks like we're going to perhaps get a bit of a short sell down again, right? Once the market does reach this high, which it actually has, perhaps give us a small break above it and then give us a retest to around here before it does go higher again thereafter. Obviously, daily, we're still looking for buys to the upside. If we do see significant buying opportunities, even on the intraday charts, those would be valid because the overall bias is that this market would still push higher than it is at the moment. But I will not be surprised if we start getting selling opportunities from there because you can see a bit of an extended market in here, right? Cool. So let's move on to the dollar index very quickly. Just get the chart up. Just give me a second. All right, so I'm just waiting for the chart to load. Internet is absolutely horrible. Oh, wow. Come on. This was ridiculous. Note to self, preload all charts before the episode begins. All right, so as usual, I'll start with the dollar index as I usually do. I have actually been monitoring the dollar index this week, and it's basically played out exactly as I've been speaking about since the beginning of last week. So I hope you guys have been able to take advantage of some of those moves. I'm not really trading currencies at the moment. I'm just focused on volatility or the synthetics, so I haven't really been trading currencies. Let's look at this, right? So I've on the dollar index futures, I've been calling sells on the dollar index since the market was up here, right? I said we'll see the market come back to this area here and most likely even pop below this area and touch this area. There's my arrow marked right there, that black arrow that I've got. So looking at this market, we're still expected to continue down, right, to touch this level in here, to touch this yellow block that I've got in here. So I'm still short sell bias on the dollar index. Looking at the H4 chart as well, we might get a bit of a pullback to come and retest some of this structure that's been broken in here, right? Might get a pullback into there, but overall, we are still looking for sells back down into that area in there. Perhaps by late next week, we will see the dollar then become bullish. But I think for the remainder of this week, maybe going into early next week as well, we should still see a bearish dollar because the structure in here is still quite bearish, right? Until it does bounce into this level in here, I'm still looking at a bearish dollar. Let's look at the NASDAQ equities. Like I always say, the correlation between equities and futures, if futures markets are going up, then equity markets are going down. If equity markets are going down, futures markets are going up. As you can see here, futures markets are going down, which means the dollar index was going down. It was bearish, right? Therefore, you can see the NASDAQ's been bullish the entire week as well. It's a simple correlation that I've picked up, right? It's not really something I've pack tested or anything like that, but it is something that does seem to look very well, very, very good. Sorry about that. So looking at the NASDAQ equities market, I had this level highlighted last week, and I did say that this level should hold as a level of support, and we will see NASDAQ come back up into this area in here. As you can see, that is playing out beautifully right now. And I don't foresee any issues. Perhaps we'll get a retest into the structure that's been broken here, or even the structure that's been broken, right? But other than that, we should still see the NASDAQ push up into that area in there. So overall, we're still looking at a bullish NASDAQ. Let's look at the 4-hour chart to see if there's anything over and above that. But other than that, remember, the purpose of these episodes that I do is just to guide you into how to identify your daily bias. The goal with this is I'm never aiming to give you a trade idea or a trading plan or a signal or any of those things, right? It's purely just to identify daily bias. So looking at this area in here, that is where I'm looking at firstly the market reaching for, and then continuing higher. Looking at the 4-hour chart, I will not be surprised, like I said, for the market to come back. This is that structure that I spoke about on daily that's just been broken, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if the market does come back to retest the structure, right? Because we have a huge displacement of price in this push to the upside, and then it then continued here, which means that there's a huge extension in what happened right now, right? So price is a bit extended. We would expect it to come back and give us a corrective move into around this area in here and then continue higher thereafter. All right, cool. So that's it from my side. Before I go, however, I just remembered I forgot to speak about my disclaimer. Remember, nothing that I speak about on these episodes is financial, investment, or trading advice. Everything that I talk about on here is purely for educational purposes or entertainment purposes, depending on which way you take it. I do not recommend a specific trade or action. Trades that I take is trades that I take on cash that I am willing to risk. So ensure that any risks that you do take are based on analysis that you've done and with cash that you are willing to risk. Because the truth is, you could lose your entire investment. Unfortunately, we did have to end it on that disclaimer today. Perhaps I'm a bit out of practice because I haven't recorded that much this week. But anyway, like I always say, it's been a pleasure as always to share. And I am wishing you a blessed and a profitable trading day. You're going to be trading this weekend, have a profitable weekend as well. And we will catch up again on Monday morning. Stay blessed, guys. Catch up with you guys next week.